Well, MindsEye is kind of a disaster, to put it lightly. And if you don't know what MindsEye is, let me give you a little bit of a recap and catch you up to speed. So MindsEye was developed by the studio Build a Rocket Boy, which was founded by Leslie Benzies. Now, Leslie Benzies was the producer for basically every single GTA game at Rockstar Games. So it's not like this game was just coming out of nowhere from a nobody. This was something with pretty high potential. But yeah, to say that the potential was not reached is an understatement. But since I've gotten almost 3 hours into the game now, I figured I would do a first impressions video, so this is not a review of the full game, but just, you know, my first impressions, what I got out of the first couple hours of playing the game. So MindsEye takes place sometime in the distant future with a light cyberpunk aesthetic. I wouldn't say that it's as heavy-handed as Cyberpunk 2077, but it's definitely still there. And the game's story revolves around Jacob Diaz attempting to figure out what is going on with his implant, the MindsEye. And even 3 hours into the game, I don't really know exactly what the purpose of the MindsEye is, but all I know is that it's causing Jacob a lot of problems. But you know what's causing me a lot of problems? The gameplay. Now, this game is not an open world game, which is not inherently an issue, but the mission design kind of makes you wish that this was an open world. Because even though this is a very linear, story-driven game, you are still driving from location to location, leaving yourself a lot of time just kind of driving and having to listen to character dialogue over the phone. And the mission design at times is rather confusing because sometimes it feels like you should have more control over what is happening than you actually have. For instance, in one mission, you're told to lose someone who is trying to tail you, but if you deviate from the path that it gives you on the minimap at all, it just fails you. And actually, during my first attempt in this mission, I actually managed to lose the tail, but then as soon as I lost him, the game, I guess, realized that I wasn't following the path and it immediately failed me.
I don't see them anymore.
What? I lost the guy. I lost the guy and they said I failed the mission. Because I didn't stick to the path. But that wasn't the only annoyance in the game I ran into because I constantly had frame rate issues. Now when I first booted up the game, I turned all of the graphics settings to their highest quality, but I was thinking that maybe that was why the frame rate issues were happening, so I told it to detect the best settings for my PC, and even then I was still having insane frame rate drops. Like there were times where I would be just sitting at 15 FPS and I would be lucky if it didn't dip below that. This is pretty bad. This is the worst that the frames have been. I kind of can't believe that the game is being released in this state. This is terrible. This is terrible. Wow. And then on top of that, the game just has a lot of very strange and odd things happening. Like when I would be driving around, I would just hear an explosion behind me and then I would turn around to see what it was and there would be a car exploded on the side of the road. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the NPCs are Unreal Engine 5 assets that they got. What was that? What was that? Did a car just explode behind me? What the hell? What happened? And then the NPCs and enemies in the game just feel completely lifeless. One of the first things that I did once I got control of a vehicle in the game was I just ran into NPCs just to see what would happen. And when you hit an NPC, they just kind of go limp and fall over. It's not very good. But it also seems like outside of the first mission in the game, you can kind of just hit NPCs as many times as you'd like without any consequence. But I think I was able to hit and kill 5 NPCs in the first mission before it failed me. Another odd quirk with the NPCs, I guess specifically with the enemies, is that when you shoot them, a lot of the times they'll just completely change animation or pose, and typically they'll actually teleport a couple inches into the air. And then there was one enemy that I ran into that was already floating in the air before I even shot at them. What is going on? She's floating! That was awesome. Now, the cutscenes are easily the best part of the game, but even then, there are still issues with them at times. For example, in one of the first cutscenes in the game, there was very clearly some issues happening with the depth of field when the cutscenes kept switching to different camera angles. Like, it would take an extra second for the depth of field to adjust to the new camera shot, and it just looked a little messy. It's also in the cutscene that we get to see a closer look at the characters, and I do appreciate the level of detail that they put into the characters' facial expressions. They managed to capture all of the subtle little facial facial movements that people make, and it's honestly probably the most realistic aspect of the entire game. But it's also in the cutscenes that I noticed something that was really strange about the character models. Sometimes, not all the times, I would see this like edge part of the character model kind of extend out from where the character is. I have no idea what this is, but it was a little distracting at times. And the cutscenes are also the best part of the game because it's where we get a bulk of the story from the game. And the story here is easily the game's best selling point. Now, I'm not saying that the story is anything incredible, but it is certainly engaging and I'm interested to see where it goes. So the basic gist of the story is that the main protagonist, Jacob Diaz, has the MindsEye device implanted in the back of his head and it's been causing him some issues. And now he's come to the Silva Corporation where they made the MindsEye device to get some answers. Jacob manages to get a job at the Silva Corporation in hopes of getting these answers, and his boss, Rigby, is easily the most annoying video game character I've ever interacted with.
You're losing him. Pay attention.
Okay.
I can't afford a delay on this. We need boots on the ground now. Get your car and go.
I'm running.
Get there as fast as you can. If they find that tech before you get there,
Man.
This is over.
She just, all she does is yell at me.
Yes, you just need to be determined to get to the planes.
Can we get Rigby off the call? I'm tired of hearing her talk to me.
Where are you going, Diaz? Get to the planes.
What? I'm literally driving.
We'll be there very soon. But you've got more of them incoming. Hanging up. You found the drone yet?
I thought you...
Looking.
What? You just said you were hanging up.
If I knew you'd be this slow, I'd have driven myself.
I'm literally... My finger is down as hard as it can be on the trigger.
Take a breather and relax.
I really hate Rigby. I really do.
I'm tracking your movements and you are slow.
I'm literally at the location.
Call Rigby.
What, did you want me to go 90 miles per hour into the checkpoint? She's just always yelling at you no matter what you're doing. But in addition to having a very annoying character yell at you while you drive, sometimes you'll just hit invisible objects in the road.
And Marco demands it runs only from our servers.
So
What was that? And then there are the weird visual bugs. Oh my god, look at the cars! Look at the cars down there! Look at them, they're jumping around. So there are a lot of technical issues with the game, but I think that the story is pretty compelling, at least so far, and I will probably try to finish the game at some point. But as it stands right now, I really can't recommend anyone buy this game. It's been released at full price in a state that is very clearly not finished. And I really don't want to hear people complain about this review saying that, well, the game's not finished, so I shouldn't be reviewing it. Well, have you considered the fact that I've paid full price for the video game at launch? Is it really that crazy of an idea that I would expect the game to be finished when I purchase it? Sure, it's likely that they will fix the game and make it better in the future, but it's not the future right now. It is the present, last I checked, and in the present, the game is not finished. But if you really truly do think that this game has an interesting story or the gameplay looks like it has potential, at least wait a couple months before you buy the game, because it's just not worth playing in this state. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you gave the video a like, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay on the lookout for future videos. I have something absolutely massive in the works that'll be coming out sometime within the next month. And in the meantime, I would recommend checking out my 90-minute long video in which I talk about every single GTA 6 screenshot.